All systems go. Cleared for takeoff.
What is going on, YouTube? We're back with another edition of the NHL Quick Hit here for Monday, October 31st. If you guys are new, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and down in the comments, drop your favorite stacks, your favorite goalies, your favorite plays on tonight's NHL slate. Obviously, we have a massive sports day here with NBA on tap, NFL Monday Night Football showdown, as well as 9 NHL games here tonight. We're coming off a massive weekend over here at SHIPIT Nation, almost $500,000 plus in wins over the NFL Sunday here from members. If you guys are not a member yet, head over to shipitnation.com, use promo code NBA10, the last day to use this promo code NBA10 and get in on all the actions, all of our core plays, our tools, our content, our projections, bar none, hands down best in my opinion in the industry, including the best Discord community known out there. Promo code NBA10 again, last chance to get in at that promo code for 10% off your whatever package, monthly, yearly, or 6-month package for life, not just the first month. So head over there, promo code NBA10, get you access to all of that. Let's go ahead and jump right into today's NHL 9-game slate. From a 10,000 feet overview, looking at today's slate, we have 6.5 totals. Anaheim and the Penguins is a 6.5 total there. Penguins massive favorites, minus 239 at home. Looking at the next game, Kraken and Lightning at home, minus 152 favorites. That's a 6.5 total. And then the last late night hammer game of the slate, Montreal heading into Vegas to face the Golden Knights. 6.5 total there. Vegas Golden Knights minus 218 home favorites there. A couple six totals, the rest all being 6 total. And then 5.5 total there in New York and Winnipeg. Winnipeg at home plus 107 home dogs there. 5.5 total in that one. From a team total perspective, looking at some of the highest team totals implied on the slate, Dallas Stars sit above the top of the charts at 4.8 goals expected. Pittsburgh Penguins, shortly behind that at 4.64. Vegas Golden Knights, again, who I do like here tonight, 4.4 for them, 3.9 for the Hurricanes, 3.8 for the Arizona Coyotes, which is definitely interesting there. Some of the weakest teams on the slate in terms of implied goal totals. Blue Jackets, Columbus down there, 1.5. Anaheim at 2.1. Montreal at 2.3, and then Philly at 2.3, which definitely is an interesting take because I actually like Philly here from a stack perspective. And let's go ahead and jump right into some of my favorite stacks of the night. First stack, my favorite stack of the night here. I'm going right back to the well in terms of Tampa Bay here. I like the Lightning here at home against the Kraken. Kraken allowing over 3.3 goals per game. Give up a lot of shots on net, and Tampa is very good on home ice here. Love Tampa. Tampa line 1 in particular here. Bear Boulette, Braden Point, and Nikita Kucherov is my preferred line here. Love all 3 of them. Braden Point, 7,600. Nikita Kucherov, 8,600. Like them. And then Bear Boulette is just 3,700 skating on that top line. Does get second power play run as well. 3,700 for him is a pretty fine value option on him. Like that line quite a bit. Don't leave out a guy like Victor Hedman in your stacks as well at 5,900 as a D-man, kind of that mid-tier. He's had very good success against Seattle in the past. Pretty good floor as of the last 4 games, 10, 13, 10, and 12 in his last 4 in terms of DraftKings scoring. And then another guy that I have interest in from the same team is Steven Stamkos. He's 7,200 expensive, but he does skate with those guys on the top power play as a top power play correlation there. So definitely have a little interest in them personally. And then if you need a punt guy, Anthony Cirelli will continue to be a punt option for me for Tampa. 3,200 center position. Second power play unit. They are playing 18 to 20 minutes and averaging right around 2 shots per game. So do like Anthony Cirelli. Tampa, definitely one of my favorite stacks of the evening here. Going into another one of my favorite stacks of the night, they're going to get some ownership here, but don't really matter, to be honest, personally. It's the Pittsburgh Penguins, here. Like this spot for the Penguins. They're at home. Heaviest favorite on the slate. Highest implied or second highest implied goal total on the slate here. But I just love this spot. $7K for Jake Gunsel. Way too cheap for him. Love him here. Sid the Kid, Sid Crosby, 7,800 is expensive for him, but I do like this top line quite a bit. And then Brian Rust, 5,500, nice mid-tier. Great play in Brian Rust. That's super cheap for him. So love this top line stack in Pittsburgh. Definitely one of my favorites that I'm looking at. Value play for Pittsburgh as well. Lars Eller, 3,100, skating on that third line. He's averaging over 2.5 shots per game at just $600 over min price. Skating on that third line here at home should draw a pretty good matchup as well. So like Lars Eller as a value play. And then don't sleep on the second line as well. Rickard Rakell hasn't been great to start the year, but he was excellent last season. His price point continues to drop at 5,400, skating on that second line. So Rickard Rakell, he's still averaging over 2.5 shots per game, so still active. Just hasn't found the puck luck find his way. Evgeny Malkin is going to skate on that top power play. So if you want to get a little different, you could throw him in there over Sidney Crosby. Don't love it, but definitely he's cheaper. Get you a little bit more unique second line top power play. Or you could add a 4-man power play stack there from Pittsburgh and throw Malkin in there with those other guys. Does get expensive, but one way to be a little unique there. And then the other guy on that second line, Riley Smith. So I like the top two lines here. Lars Eller for a value play for Pittsburgh, I think makes a lot of sense here tonight. Definitely have interest in them. Another team I have interest in here is Detroit. I'm a big Detroit guy. I think Detroit is a pretty good hockey team this year. They've been good to start the season as well. 5-4. Now I'll get Islanders here on the road. Islanders typically a better hockey team on home ice here, but they've been pretty leaky. And this top line for Detroit can definitely score with the best of them. And Dylan Larkin, Lucas Raymond, Alex DeBrincat do like this top line quite a bit. But also this second line, Andrew Kopp, David Perron, and JT Compher. I like these price points on the second line quite a bit for Detroit. And I think they will definitely get overlooked here. And I think they could definitely score some goals on this slate. So second line is actually my preferred line for Detroit if I'm going to Detroit here tonight. David Perron, JT Compher, and Andrew Kopp here. And then second line, or the top line as well, in Dylan Larkin, Lucas Raymond, and Alex DeBrincat also. So like the top two lines for Detroit here. I think it's a pretty good spot. Islanders been giving up goals here. They are at home, which typically they're a better hockey team overall at home. But I think Detroit can find some goals, and they should be pretty low owned in this spot as well, which I definitely like. Probably my second favorite stack of the night, though, here is actually going to be the late night hammer game in the Vegas Golden Knights. They are at home against Montreal. Montreal is not good. They allow the most expected goals per game in the league, the third or second most shots against per game, and the second most high danger chances in the league. So absolutely love Vegas here tonight. Top line, definitely my preferred, Jack Eichel, Barbashev, and Marchessault there. Jonathan Marchessault, 6,400. Jack Eichel, 7,500. Those are two very, very reasonable price tags for their upside and their talent level. Another guy, William Karlsson. This man just continues to get the job done each and every single slate. Third liner at home in a nut matchup here. William Karlsson, hands down, one of my favorite, if not my most favorite value play on the entire slate at sub 4K. He's 3,900 at the center position, going to get second power play time as well. William Karlsson, 3,900. Absolutely love him. You can stack him up if you want to, or just play a one-off there in him. I think makes a lot of sense. Mark Stone at sub 6K gets you power play correlation there. If you're interested in that, you could definitely go to him. Shea Theodore continues to just be an absolute legend. 6K for him. He just does not move. His price point just does not go anywhere. 19, 19, 20, 11, 20, 23, and 15 in his last 7 games in terms of DraftKings scoring. He's 6K flat. My favorite spend-up D-man on the entire slate is Shea Theodore. So I love Vegas here. Love pushing the chips in on Vegas. There's some value plays as well, like Brayden McNabb. Fine value play there at 4,200 in terms of a D-man. So overall, love Vegas here. Vegas all things considered, might actually be when you factor in salary, factor in the matchup, my favorite team on the slate. They're going to get ownership, but Montreal just gives up a ton of shots, tons of opportunities, and I like the price points. Vegas is a little bit cheaper than Tampa, so I do like Vegas a ton here. And then the other team, the underdog team that I'm looking at on the slate that's going to be super low owned here is Philly. Philly at home here against the Hurricanes, and I get it, right? It's a pretty scary matchup overall. But this top line for Philly, I like quite a bit. Owen Tippett, Courtier, and Cam Atkinson. Love this top line for them. And then even a second liner, Travis Konechny, 27, 4, 24, and 29 DraftKings points in his last 4 games. These price points on Philly are very cheap. Nobody's going to go to them because they are a huge home dog at plus 169 on the slate. Owen Tippett, 4,600 for him, 12, 14, 16, 15, 20 DraftKings points in his last 5, averaging right around 5 shots per game, 4,600. Super cheap price point for him. Already mentioned TK, Travis Konechny. 6,600 is expensive for him, but he's still averaging over 4 shots per game. He's getting on that top power play, so I like him quite a bit. Travis Sanheim at sub 5K. I mean, this guy has not scored under 9 DraftKings points in any of his games so far this year. In the 7 or 8 game sample that we have so far, and has a ceiling of 27 DraftKings points. He's sub 5K. Correlates pretty well as well with that top line. So I like Travis Sanheim quite a bit. Again, Cam Atkinson, 4,800. I mean, I love this top line for Philly here. These price points are just super cheap. 4,700, 4,800, and 4,600. You get all 3 of them for sub 15K as a stack in a matchup on home ice where they're all going to play right around, 15 to 18 minutes. I think Philly is my favorite underdog on the slate, and I don't think ownership is going to go to them at all. So I definitely like that spot quite a bit for the Philadelphia Flyers here on home ice against the Hurricanes, who both of these teams have been 4-4 to start the year. I think people have old tapes in their head from Carolina last year. Carolina was obviously an incredible team last year. They're going through it a little bit right now. I do think they are the better hockey team in the long run, but it's a one night here. Philly, I just need Philly to score some goals, and it doesn't take as many goals for them here to pay off their price points as it does on the other side of the ice there in Carolina, because Carolina is definitely more expensive. Again, that's some of my favorite stacks of the night. My favorite and final content will be up over on SHIPITNation.com for SHIPIT Nation subscribers. If you are not a subscriber yet, head over to SHIPITNation.com. Use promo code NBA10, the last chance to get in on all the action at 10% off for life. Whatever package you do choose, promo code NBA10 gets you access over there. If not, just go ahead and drop a like, drop a subscription right here on this channel. We're almost to 4,000 subscribers, and the like button helps us out a ton to keep these videos free, where we bring all of our shows each and every single day for free to you. Talking on some goalies on this slate that I have some interest in here, looking in terms of the top end. In terms of goalies, Dallas Stars, Jake Ottinger. Ottinger's been amazing all year. He is 8,500, very, very expensive. But if you are paying up, I think I prefer him the most as my spend-up goalie of choice. Jake Ottinger there. I do like Jonas Johansson quite a bit. I already talked about liking Tampa quite a bit here. 7,900 for him. Very, very nice price point. He's been very good the last 3 starts, 25, 22, and 16 DraftKings points. Sub 8K for him. Already have interest in the Tampa side in terms of offense, so I do like him quite a bit. Tristan Jarry, 8,300 is a little expensive for him, so I'm probably going to be off Tristan Jarry here tonight. Anaheim can score, and Pittsburgh always typically in chalk spots like this or in smash spots tends to let down, so I don't really want to pay 8,300. I'd rather just find $200, get up to Jake Ottinger in net if I'm spending up there. One sleeper here, let me just pull it up real quick here, is Husso. I don't love Husso here, but 7,600. I have interest in Detroit side of the game here to think Detroit has a shot to win this game. I expect the ownership in this game to definitely flock towards the Islanders goalie here in Sorokin at 7,800. Sorokin's been very good. He is at home. I think he's a fine goalie option. Going to get pretty decent amount of ownership in this game, but $200 cheaper. Going to still see volume. Ville Husso could get the win as well here tonight, because I do like Detroit's offense a little bit in this spot. Husso did have a good start last time against these same Islanders. Actually shut them out 3-0. So 27 DraftKings points, saw 24 pucks, saved all 24 of them. So Ville Husso at 7,600. Definitely have a little interest in him here tonight on the other side of the Sorokin, chalkier side of that game there in New York. Adin Hill as one of the biggest favorites on the slate here. Late night hammer up at the top end of the spends, 8,400. Think you can definitely go to him. Adin Hill makes some sense, but typically I like to spend down or spend in that mid tier for goalies is typically where I'm looking at. So the last guy that I have interest in here in terms of goalies is Carter Hart. I always like Carter Hart. I've been a huge Carter Hart guy. Carter Hart at home is typically when I like to play him, and he's just 7,300 here. I already talked about that Philly top line, liking them quite a bit on this slate. So my last goalie of interest would be Carter Hart at 7,300 in GPPs. I think makes a lot of sense. Going to be super low owned. Going to see a ton of volume, and always is a candidate to stand on his head and shut down the slate. So Carter Hart, 7,300, one of my favorite GPP goalies on the entire slate. Jumping into some value plays. First value play at the center, sub 4K. My favorite value on the entire slate. I already talked about him a ton. William Karlsson. This guy hasn't scored under 8 DraftKings points in his last 5 games with a ceiling of 16. Taking right around 2 shots per game. Going to play 16 to 18 minutes. Absolutely love William Karlsson here tonight as a value guy on this slate. Another value center. I already talked about him in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh at home here. Another third liner at home ice. 3,100 for him. Lars Eller. I think Lars Eller makes a lot of sense here. Another value center option on home ice again. Another third liner, Matt Duchene for Dallas Stars. Dallas heavy favorites here. Third liner getting Columbus. 12, 8, and 15 DraftKings points in his last 3, averaging over 2.5 shots per game. Matt Duchene, think makes a lot of sense here at the center position. And then going back to my Philly team, I already like Philly. This guy hasn't played in since the second game of the year, back on the 14th, so he's been off. Don't love attacking him right away, his first game back. But Morgan Frost at 3,400 in a team like Philly that I have interest in. Definitely think, sub 4K makes some sense. Morgan Frost, have a little interest in him. And then the last guy I'll throw out for a value center option is my guy, Anthony Cirelli for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Another third liner at home here against Seattle, 3,200. Think makes some sense here. He's averaging right around 2 shots per game. So I do like him quite a bit here. Jumping in the value section for the wings. First value I'm going to bring up on the slate is a super low-owned guy. I brought him up last time I talked about value. Didn't come through for me, but it's Emil Bemstrom. Gets a tough matchup here against Dallas, but he's still super involved. Last game against Dallas, he actually did have an assist, 3 shots on goal. This guy's averaging right around 3 shots per goal. He's 3,300. Emil Bemstrom for Columbus Blue Jackets as a one-off value wingman. I think makes some sense here for sure. Definitely have a little interest in him. Another guy, top liner for the Chicago Blackhawks, Nick Foligno. Newly acquired Nick Foligno there. Obviously went in that trade there. He's 3,600, top line, top power play, playing 17 to 18 minutes here, averaging right around 3 shots per game, skating alongside Connor Bedard, the absolute stud. So I do like this guy quite a bit, Nick Foligno at 3,600 value wing. He does get a decent matchup against Arizona as well, who can definitely be scored on. So I have some interest in him. At 4K flat, Lucas Raymond for Detroit. I like that top line for Detroit a little bit here. So Lucas Raymond at 4K flat, going to play 16 to 18 minutes as well. Like him, averaging over 2 shots per game as well. So I do have interest in him. And then in that Tampa game, right, Tampa usually pushes the pace a little bit of these hockey games, can lead to some scoring. Jaden Schwartz on the other side of that puck there for Seattle at 4K flat, 25, 28, 12, and 9 in his last 5 DraftKings point scored. He does lead the shots per game on the slate in terms of wingers for value wingers. He's averaging over 3 shots per game, and he's 4K flat, getting power play time as well. So for a value winger at 4K. I like Jaden Schwartz as well here on this slate. Jumping in the last section of today's NHL Quick Hit, we're going to jump into some value D-men here. First value D-men I want to bring up on the slate, Nico Mikola for Florida Panthers. This guy blocks a ton of shots. He's averaging right around 3 blocks per game, taking about 3 shots per game as well as a D-man. He's $3,100, so $600 over min price. If you need a punt D-man, 21, 8, 11, 4, and 20 DraftKings points in his last 5 games. Nico Mikola for Florida Panthers, 3,100 at the D-men. Like him here. Another value guy for Montreal, 3,300 as a D-man here. I'm going to play 17 to 18, 19 minutes. Caden Gould for Montreal. Came back last game, his first game back after sitting out for 4 games against Winnipeg, put up 23 DraftKings points. Before he sat out, 10 and 22 DraftKings points in those 2 games. Last game, he actually played 25 minutes against Winnipeg here. He's in the late night hammer game against Vegas. Vegas should be firing pucks. He should be heavily involved here. So Caden Gould at 3,300 as a value man. Like him, a decent amount on this slate. One of my favorite absolute stone punt D-men is actually for Anaheim. I played this guy a lot last season long, and he's 2,900. It's Ila Labushkin for the Anaheim Ducks. 2,900, Ila Labushkin, 10, 13, 11, 11, 3 DraftKings points in his last 5. Really, what you're looking for this guy is blocking shots. That's what he does. He's averaging over 4 blocks per game over the last 5 games. He's going to see a lot of volume in that game there against Pittsburgh, who is going to be super chalky here. So I think he can pick up the block bonus big time, super easily in this game. So Ila Labushkin at 2,900, definitely have a lot of interest in him on this slate as a value man. And the last value guy I will bring up here on this slate is actually going back to that Pittsburgh game. It's Ryan Graves. This guy's a top liner skating alongside Chris Letang, which is definitely a boost. 3,800 for him, Ryan Graves, for the Pittsburgh Penguins. I know, talk through it fast. We got a busy day over here. We got tons of sports going on. Our guys are about to break down the Monday Night Football Showdown show. Myself and Tambo and our partner at Lion Star went through a review show where we reviewed a lot of the NFL content that absolutely smashed this week. So lots of stuff going on. NBA shows going on as well. Wanted to jump on here real quick and give you guys all the winners for the NHL slate. Again, all my content will be up on the website for members. If you're not a member, head over to SHIPITNation.com. Use promo code NBA10. Get you 10% off for life of any package that you choose. But that's all 9 games. I gave you where I'm going, where I'm looking. Again, final touches on the content will be published for members. But for this edition of the Monday, October 30th, NHL Quick Hit video for Shipping Nation YouTube station here, I'm Nades, and we'll catch you guys next time. Let's ship it.